Am I the a-hole for refusing my mother to see my kids after she sold the house that I paid for years? For nearly 9 years, I lived in and paid for a home under the agreement that once it was paid off, my mother would transfer the title to me. The home was in her name, but I covered the mortgage, lot rent, and all expenses. I also put my own money into renovations and repairs like new flooring, light fixtures, refinishing cabinets, replacing appliances, and fixing the oven. My mom originally bought the home in 2015, planning to leave her husband. When she changed her mind about the divorce, she offered it to me, saying it was a great way to invest my money into something for my future. I agreed and moved in, believing I was working toward ownership. The roof and her changing the terms. In 2022, my roof started leaking. I called my mom for advice, but she didn't know anyone who could do small repairs. My boyfriend at the time who had roofing experience helped me fix it, and I paid for all the materials. Later, she insisted on sending out someone she knew to check the roof. Since the home was in her name, I couldn't stop her. She then decided to have the entire roof replaced without my consent. When I asked about the cost, she brushed it off, saying,
"Don't worry, God always provides."
In early 2023, she suddenly demanded $3,000 for the roof, despite never discussing payment beforehand. I told her this felt unfair, since I never agreed to it. I offered to make monthly payments, but she was furious. Her final ultimatum: by early 2024, I was less than $3,500 away from fully paying off the home. I was ready to be done with all the drama. But then, in February 2024, my mom raised the roof cost by another $1,500, bringing it to $4,500, and added other random fees, telling me I had 1 week to pay over $20,000 or move out. I was stunned. I asked why, and all she said was,
"The choice is yours to make. You just have to decide what path to take."
No explanation, just an ultimatum. When I refused, she started making my life hell. In April 2024, she showed up unannounced and refused to leave until the police made her. At that point, I had no choice. I packed up my kids and moved out on May 1, 2024. Not long after, she sold the home I had spent nearly a decade paying for, keeping all the money for herself. My family thinks I should move on. Now, my family says I'm the bad guy for cutting her off and keeping her grandkids away. But my kids want nothing to do with her. They were old enough to understand what happened and felt just as betrayed as I did. To make things worse, she has been showing up uninvited to my kids' events and causing scenes. I'm now looking into legal options to keep her away, as I don't want her forcing her way back into their lives. My family says I should just move on because it's not worth losing family over. But I can't just forget about all the money I put into that home. It's been almost a year, and I am now seeking legal advice because I refuse to let her get away with it. I feel like I owe her nothing at this point, but my family keeps guilt-tripping me, saying I'm being too harsh. Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my kids see my mother, and not just moving on like my family wants me to?
Here are the top comments.
If the amount of money you invested in the house is so insignificant to the rest of your family, it can reimburse you. It would help you get over it. You are not the a-hole.
Send her a cease and desist letter telling her to leave you and your kids alone if she doesn't then got to the police and file charges for harassment.